Welcome to the LSE, Ajay. Thank you very much for being here today. How are you doing, first of all?
I'm doing good. I mean, here on a holiday. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. How does LSE feel? And how does the concept of India Week feel?
Look, you haven't been fair to me. You brought me straight to the ground, and I haven't been to the campus, so I don't know what LSE looks like from inside because I could never get in with the grades that I had when I got out of school. So I could never get in then. I thought today was a good chance to get in, but unfortunately, you brought me back to Lords, and I wish I could have gone in and experienced what LSE was
No,
like.
of course, we'll show you around. We're always open 24/7, so I'll take you after.
Okay, and then I'll be ready to answer that question.
Sure. Okay, so as students of economics at the LSE, and economics is our forte, so for us the IPL, the Indian Premier League, has been very interesting to witness it, to see it develop from something that was nothing, from a concept, to such a huge economic fraternity in such a short space of time. So could you tell me a bit about the IPL and what your thoughts on the IPL are?
I think it's been wonderful for the sport of cricket. I look at it that way. There are a lot of people who probably look at it from the other side. For the economics of the sport, definitely it's tenfolds the economics of this cricket in India that used to be. So what more can you ask for? From zero to 10 times in 1 year with literally no investment. The way I look at it, I think there was a smart man called Lalit Modi who came with this concept. It's almost like, to put it in layman's term, I mean, I wouldn't try and put anything in numbers to you guys, but it's almost like going to one of these Arab countries and asking the sheikhs to say, listen, you guys take 100 barrels a day out of this oil fields that you've got. How about if I give you 1,000 barrels worth of money up front and then I'll do whatever I want. I think literally that's what he did with the BCCI and the cricketing fraternity. We used to play 45 days of cricket in a year, all one-day matches included and test matches, and the revenues were not even 10%. He took it to another level. So first he added 45 days of cricket, which is almost doubling your production in one way. And then the best part that I see is you always had one team. I mean, India had one team, and if India wasn't playing, there was nothing else happening. Today he's created 8 more cricket teams. So that's another almost 8, 9, 10 folds of the business there. So that's basically how he set this whole thing up. And I have to be honest, I wasn't one of those who believed that this could be a success, because I always believe cricket is a sport where you have to represent a team, and being a sportsman, I always was looking at it from the other side. But as I see them, neither are players worried about which team they're going to play for, neither are the supporters, and neither are the sponsors. So I think all in all, it's been a great success. And it's just, it's not that he's brought in a new product or anything. The 2020 cricket existed in England for years. In fact, almost going back to 80s, I played 86, 87, I was playing here in England. And we used to play 20 over games in those days. But the only difference in those days was that you had to draw as well. But this is a new format of the game, but not just from the IPL. So he took a format, he created a city-based team, franchise-based thing, which was never part of the sport of cricket. It was always representing a state or a country or a county here in England. So he changed that to the corporate world. And the corporate world coming into this game, I'm not too sure again, how it's going to turn out. I mean, is it going to be beneficial for this sport, or is it going to harm this sport in the long run? But one thing's for sure, if you had, say, 100 kids starting off playing cricket in India, I don't know about the rest of the world, but I can take an example from, say, a batch of 20 kids where we started off playing cricket in school at the age of 13, 14, 15. By the time we got to class 10 in India, half of them had dropped out because they were making choices in their lives to, what are they going to do professionally or, career-wise. And by the time we got to college, another half of them dropped out. And as soon as you got out of college, which is only 21 in India, about 20, 21, 22 years old, 90% of people who started playing had dropped out of playing cricket. So you didn't get the best players always at the top. A lot of people, went away. Whereas with the IPL, with all, no matter how you look at the sport and how you look at IPL, and people can have their opinions on it. One thing's for sure, cricketers who start off playing cricket are staying on with this sport for much longer. So anybody, if there's more competition, if the masses are playing, I'm sure you'll find better players in the future. It's all up to the board now, how they use that new resource that's coming in. They'll have to groom them, but apart from that, I think you will benefit from them. That's why I look at it and say, look, in totality, you will benefit. There'll be more kids wanting to play. One, for the passion of playing for the country or whatever, and two, the guys who are dropping out for a career will also carry on playing. So if they can go and play for India, that'll be beneficial for the
and the
sport.
Opportunity, I guess, for all these young guys to come up and play increases as well. So from the onset,
it makes it easier. Because in the olden days you only had one. It's almost like you pass out from all the schools in India and there was one college you could get in.
Definitely, a monopoly.
Monopoly. It's almost like Sri Ram School this year had 99.9% cutoff. I mean,
Yes.
that's the minimum that you needed, and not many are going to get in there. So similarly, you only had one Indian cricket team. So if you didn't play for India, you were left with nothing. Now you've got 8 or 9 teams now, so you almost got 90 players playing for these various teams. So from 11 now you've got 90 players who can make a living out of it, or play at a competitive level. So it makes it much easier for players to play for it.
And so there's this school of thought which says that IPL is a threat to Test cricket and to the one-day format. Do you think that's true, or do you think that's just a comment that people come up with?
I think it's a opinion again of an individual. I mean, I look at it. It depends. I mean, like I just explained to you, I think boards and cricket boards around the world should look at IPL or tournaments like this and say, look, we've got more players playing now. We need to grab these guys from there and train them to play Test match cricket. Or if a lot of them have a problem with IPL because kids in IPL get paid more than what they get paid playing for Test cricket. So then there is a clear indicator to you that you need to start paying more to people who play Test cricket. And if it was as simple as that if somebody who if he wants to play whichever cricket that he wants and is capable of doing it, and he's playing cricket or 2020 cricket only because he's getting paid more, then it's a very simple solution that you have. Just pay the Test guys the maximum amount of money and you'll have more Test players. But that isn't the case. I don't see it like that. I think it's got different skills that you need to have for these sports. I mean, Test match cricket is totally different from 2020 cricket. So I don't see it as a detriment. I see it as, it actually encourages people to stay in the sport for longer. But it's up to the boards or the country boards to pick players from here and groom them to play Test cricket, or have and anybody who believes that it's just that because they get paid more there that they want to play there, just pay them more.
That would be a very economical solution to it as well.
I mean, if the problem is economical, then there is a very simple solution. If 90 guys can be paid more for playing, which most people consider, and even I do consider, as a lower grade of cricket, then the highest grade of cricket, which is considered Test cricket and which is the ultimate cricket, why should the 11 guys, 90 can play in the IPL and only 11 can play for India? Why should those guys be paid any less than these guys?
Okay, and
I'm not going to play, but still.
And any comments about India's recent performance? It's not been the best. It's not been very good either.
I'm glad I was on the flight today. I didn't have to see the game. But that's the nature of sport. I mean, it's unfair. Now that I don't play, I can say that it is actually unfair to the guys, because I'm sure those guys are giving in their best. And what we tend to forget as Indians mostly is, or Pakistani, in fact we've got Pakistani friends here as well, that when two teams are playing, there's only one that's going to win.
Sure.
We want our team to win all the time, and we've just won the World Cup. I think we should take it easy. I think the boys are taking a break. We just got used to winning, so they're just taking a break for a while. They'll come back. Wait till they land in India. They'll start thrashing everybody.
We hope so, and we hope that today they thrash every other team out there as well at LSE. Just one last final question. Tell me about one cricketing moment of yours that you will never forget. That one special moment.
Oh, it's a tough one, and I just answered with the greats that I actually looked up to. I started playing cricket because I saw the World Cup final here, Kapil Dev winning that trophy, and to walk on to that cricket field with Kapil Dev in that team, I think that for me would always remain the most cherished moment.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Ajay, for attending the LSE's India-Pakistan match. and we look forward to India winning. And I'll end it there. Thank you.
Pakistan. I'd like to request Saad Khalid to introduce our guest, please.
Today we have amongst one of the greatest sons of Pakistan cricket. The most substantial memory of our generation was his legendary work as a coach in the 1999 World Cup when he took the team to the final. But his career was even more inspirational. Mr. Mushtaq Mohammed, one of the 5 talented Mohammad brothers, was youngest test debutant and youngest test centurion of his time.
Yeah!
He was the first Pakistani to score 25,000 runs in first-class cricket. For the legendary Karachi team, he scored an unbeaten 303, and he was one of the pioneers of the reverse sweep shot. As a prolific batsman, a terrific wrist spinner, and one of the most talented all-rounders of Pakistan. He's a veteran test cricketer, averaging 39.17 with the bat and a top score of 202, having taken 79 wickets in 57 tests. He's a testament to cricket and an outstanding all-rounder. We would like to thank Mr. Mohammed for taking his time to come here today. You are truly a role model for cricket. Let's put your hands together.
Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you very much for having me here. I thoroughly enjoyed the evening. I thought this excitement and enthusiasm is not out there in the middle, but it's how we're wrong. It was just a good year. It's fantastic to see you all. And also great to be playing in a very good spirit. And that's what I really admire. Some of you are very good talented cricketers. Grassroots level cricket is always very important. And I think we all play this level of cricket, but we go to play with a lot more enthusiasm and go to learn from it, because this is the state where you will improve from a good cricketer to a better cricketer, and then you will go higher. So grassroots level is very important, and club cricket is very important. So I hope this will continue for the years to come, and new talented cricket will be coming. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Lord. We also have in our presence a man who's had a glorious career in international cricket for India. Born on 1st February 1971 in the royal Rajput family of Jamnagar, Gujarat, he is today viewed by many young aspiring cricketers as an icon, especially for his cricketing and finishing overs of the game. He played for India between 1992 and 2000, playing in 15 test matches and 196 one-day internationals. He is renowned for remarkable fielding and was considered one of the safest pair of hands in the Indian cricketing during his time. One of his most memorable innings was in the 1996 World Cup quarterfinals against Pakistan when he blasted 45 runs, 25 balls, including 40 from the final 2 overs by Mohammad. The highest one-day international competition record with the 4th and 5th wicket set against Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka respectively. Another memorable occasion in his career was taking 3 wickets, 3 runs in 1 over against the Indian Charger to win the match in India. One-day matches. The last time he played in the one-day international was against Pakistan in the LSE Asia Cup on 3rd June 2000. He scored 93 in a game that India eventually lost. He was top scorer, hitting 8 fours and 4 sixes. Besides his sporting career, this multi-faceted personality has also acted in the movies Kale and Kalanda and Lisa, and has made appearances in TV shows. Over the last 2 years, he has been working as an analyst, and at present is one of the pillars of sports journalism in India. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Ajay Jadeja.
I was so glad today that I wasn't on the field and I was sitting out because the India-Pakistan pressure, not only out there in the middle, like Sir said, I think there was more here around you guys. And I must congratulate both of you teams who have put up a celebration. And along with the team, I must thank you all for coming and supporting this sport and your teams. Because I can assure you, if all of you weren't around here, these kids would have just finished the game in an hour and a half. They wouldn't have cared whether they won or they lost. They would have probably ended this game, ended up at the bar next door and gone back home. So it just shows that it's not just the game itself, it's the people who watch it, it's the people who support their teams. It's actually the people who support their teams and support their players that makes playing so much more fun and exciting. And I've been blessed to have played for my country's team, and it's just a way to let you know that it's all of you people who supported, whether it's the Team India or Team Pakistan, that gives them the drive out there. You guys will understand this, the guys who played today. What difference does it make when you have your supporters behind you? And it does put a lot of pressure, but that's what you like playing for. And I'm sure you guys won't enjoy playing another game when you don't have such a big crowd. So it's been a wonderful evening. I didn't expect a game like this, or the atmosphere to be like this. And especially at LSE. I mean, people don't think of sport when you talk LSE. One of the ladies who was interviewing me for one of your in-house programs said, how do you feel that you were at LSE? So I said, when I got out of school, I wasn't allowed in there because I didn't have the grades. I thought probably I'll get to see the place or get to see what happens there today, but you didn't even let me come there. You got me back to Lord's. So my one opportunity that I had to get to LSE is also gone. But it's wonderful to see you guys enjoying this sport. This sport's always been, it's been my life, it's been life to a lot of us. And it's great to see that all of you enjoy it as much as well. So I thank you all for coming this evening. And thank you for having me here. Especially to be standing next to the legend, thank you for letting me sit alongside him for a couple of hours. I got to speak to him. These are rare moments that you get in life to have to spend time with him. Last but not the least, after seeing what I've seen, I don't know whether you would accept this. Sir was also born where I come from in Jamnagar in India. Junagadh, we had lots of great cricketers. His family, everybody was born there. Ranji, everybody was born there. From my side, I'd like to put a trophy and call it another trophy. You guys are always going to play in this spirit, because the spirit that I saw between the India and Pakistani and the competitive spirit, along with what I like, it was very impressive on both sides, how you guys held it down, played the game. That was fine for me, because that happens every time. But at the end of the game, to see you guys spend time with each other before you went on to celebrate and shake hands, and the spirit is what is important. So if you guys carry on playing with the spirit, I'd like to put a trophy, name it after him or name it after whoever you want. But there should be a trophy that you keep playing with, but otherwise you probably will have a couple of years and then you will forget about this match. This is something that you should keep playing. So let it be, because there's no better person than Sir, so we name it after him if you guys agree, and we want to learn the trophy where I come from, because I love it. Thank you.
The house is now open to questions. So when I request the questioner, please stand up, introduce yourself, and then address your question to our guest. Any questions?
Hey. this one's for Ajay.
Yeah.
How was it like facing Wasim Akram and Waqar Yunus?
I think if you ask Mohammed this now, how was it facing the last over with what about 100 people versus a million people that we have at home? I don't think it's the bowler or the ball that really matters. What matters is the occasion and the pressure that comes from there. It was really easy facing both of them because actually I did nothing. They more than the keeper was catching it at the back. I'll give you an incident because the first game I played against Pakistan was the 92 World Cup and that's when Pakistan won the World Cup. Just to dampen your spirits, but every time we beat you guys in the World Cup. So Wasim would bowl and Moeen would catch every ball. There was nothing that I was going through. So he's one of the greatest fast bowlers I ever to play, at least in 35 years that I've been watching cricket. And Waqar was a great friend, very dear friend, and he was really kind to me in that World Cup in Bangalore.
Do you think that we should retire or that we should play more?
I think it's an individual decision and he should decide.
That's for India, you think we should retire?
We need one more.
I answered this to a few people, but I think it's nobody picks. I mean, it's not an appointed post that you need to retire. You earn that place, you earn that place, and you will decide where you have to go. Unless you think he's not good enough to play.
Would you have liked to be a part of the 1983 World Cup winning team?
I would take either anytime. I don't think I was good enough to fit into either 83 team, either the 2012 team. But I would have loved to be part of one of the teams. Fortunately, I watched both on the ground. I couldn't go to the dressing room 83 because I didn't know anybody, but this year after the World Cup, I enjoyed, except being on the field, I celebrated and enjoyed as much as any other teammate. So I feel I was part of this team.
One question left.
No question about
How do you think the advent of lucrative T20 leagues has changed the face of cricket worldwide?
I think it's a very, it's one of the help cricket. Everybody has their own opinion. Actually, I was meant to talk on IPL and T20, but since you picked the topic, look, you had one team that you supported or you could play for, whether you look at it from the business angle of it or just the cricket itself. And how cricket in India would start. I mean, I'll give you a small story. So when I started playing at 13, 14-year-old, we had a batch of about 20 kids who went to play. Half of them quit playing when we got into the 10th standard. Because kids had to make their decisions whether they wanted cricket to be. Cricket wasn't a career, in fact, in those days. So people wanted to do commerce, science. People who get into LSE would definitely go out playing cricket at that time. Because it wasn't lucrative enough to play cricket. By the time we got to college, the rest of them would drop out. At the end of college, this is only about 10% of the kids who started off playing. Thanks to the IPL or the shorter format of the game where it's lucrative, it's a career now, it's probably a better career than being a banker now. A lot of money these guys are making. The careers are long. So it will benefit. Yes, there will be a downside to it because a lot of people feel that kids today don't want to play cricket, they don't want to play one-day cricket, they only want to play the lucrative form of cricket. But I think there lies an answer for the big BCCI and all the boards around the world that if in India, if there are 9 teams who are willing to pay 19 players the next amount of money, and if anybody who believes that there's only money that decides what kind of cricket somebody wants to play, then there would be a simple answer. I mean, why can't you pay 11 guys more than what the the 90 guys get out there. But that isn't the case. Why I say it will be lucrative is because what I said earlier, that there will be a lot more cricketers who carry on playing. So if you have more people competing for the same spot, you'll probably get better talent. And then it will be up to the boards to groom these guys and train them to play a longer version of the game, which is actually the real cricket.
How would you feel with cricket in the West Indies, and what's the more memorable moment going up against the West Indian past?
Were you playing for India?
No, past.
I should be disqualified. It's an import from West Indies. Sorry.
What's your most memorable moment playing cricket in the West Indies, and what can you say about going up against the West Indian past?
I think the moments that I remember would probably be in Jamaica. Sorry, my friend around Guyana is one place I won't forget. There weren't pleasant memories there, neither food, no people. I hope nobody else is from Guyana. Sorry, no, but there was one good thing about Guyana. The pitches were the flattest in West Indies. But I think Jamaica, for me, is West Indies cricket. The lifestyle that the Jamaicans live is probably what West Indies cricket used to be, and they played with the spirit that the Jamaicans live their lives with. And I think that's missing, and that's what you don't see with this modern day West Indies team. So that's my memory. I totally watched this game. My favorite. He's a great friend and one of the nicest young beings that you'll ever come across. Although I have more friends in Pakistan than in West Indies.
One last question.
Sorry, Ajay, I have a question.
Yes.
No, 5 of the 4 Mohammed brothers played international cricket for Pakistan, and the 5th one played in first class cricket but couldn't represent the international team. So the legacy of the Mohammed brothers is really known all over Pakistan. We've lately seen the Akmal brothers trying to imitate him. So I was wondering if you think that they're capable of achieving the feats that the 4 of you did. And when's the next time we'll see a Mohammed playing again?
So before we answer, if all 4 of those brothers or 5 of them get together and even achieve what one of them did, I think
Now, I think Mohammed is a very talented cricketer. And there's another player who has become the international team as well, but they're all very talented. The only thing I find they're not patient enough. I think the talent has been wasted because of their immaturity. And they will learn to play the game according to the situation which is in. I think they are very mature at the moment.
And when will we see another Mohammed, someone from your generation playing cricket again, international cricket for Pakistan?
I don't know. Certainly not my sons. They play cricket, but they only play at club level. And whether my grandchildren will play, I can't say that to them.
I feel like you have a feeling that the youngsters these days lack have this tendency of getting outside option on the off top, playing Test cricket. Do you think they lack the patience, or is it something else? And this goes to every other team, not just Pakistan.
Outside of stump, and that's what you call a corridor of uncertainties. You must have heard so many times on the radio and on television. That's the better line is that every batsman is vulnerable on that line. Sooner or later, either you're late in meeting the ball or the ball meets you before you come down to meet it. And it will always remain there. And another thing that to cope with it
decline from generation to generation?
And the decline depends on who wants to work hard at it.
On behalf of LSE Pakistan Society and LSE Spice, I'd like to offer you our appreciation to express our gratitude to both our guests for taking our time and making it so meaningful. We always been relative, sir, and we hope to be given the opportunity to host you again.
The rivals are going to continue on Wednesday. There's a Pakistan versus India football match in Canary Wharf, so hope to see you guys all there to support the countries.
Some of you may be interested in attending an upcoming LSE Ideas public lecture on cricket with the themes sport and nation in a very new university to the cricket. This will be held in the Old Theatre Hall building on Tuesday, 6th March. To 6:30 p.m. The lecture will be delivered by Mr. Ajay Jadeja and chaired by Professor Michael Cox. Some of you may have seen the flyer during the course of the match.
So while the players were saying after legends, we were being decisions on the 3 awards we had. They did a very difficult job. So can I please ask Mr. Ajay Jadeja to give the best leader prize in the radio himself? And the best leader for today was Mohammad. And thanks Mr. Mohammed to give this award to Sanam Arora. And the best actor award has to go to the person who's going to bring us the end for India. It was an exciting match. We went to the last ball. Everyone enjoyed it. But it was left to me standing out to give the inaugural Mohammed trophy and the other 2 legends to give it to the Indian team, please.
Thank you.
Before we disperse, our next protocol Sanam Arora, the President's Vice to give closing remarks, please.
And I just say thank you all for coming today and heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Mohammed and Mr. Jadeja. One thing I'm humbled by is to say that Spice and Pakistan this year, we started a legacy with the Mohammed Jadeja Trophy. Can I please have a round of applause? Thank you very much. And with this, I conclude India Week 2012.
And with that, please have a huge round of applause for Sanam Arora and her team for all the efforts that they've put in and made this week what it is.
Should we come in for a photo?